My name's host Eric. I'm here today with Famous Person Elly, who is on the mic, in attendance, and brand new as far as I don't think you've been here before. Would you be willing to be typed?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I've not spoken any words to her except for the words you've heard here and the one word before I started recording. So it's going to be fair, right? My goal is to first let me ask this question. Do you think you know what type you are?
No.
You don't? Okay. Well, then we'll have to see if we can type you for the purposes of helping you to think about that a little bit if you want to. Okay, so first question is this. If you you're on a game show, and the game show is a weird game show. Day one, they say, here's your prize. You get to go mountain biking with a group of 3 other friends, and yay, it's fun. Go do that all day. The second day of the game show, you go back and say, here's your prize. You get to play your favorite game in the quiet of your home with your closest single other person, and then you do that, and you go, yay, that was fun. And on the third day, they say, here's your prize. You, by yourself, get to go to the spa and get a deep tissue massage and a face mud thing, and get your hair washed or whatever they do there. And you go, yay, that was fun. And then on the 4th day, they say you get to do one of them again. Which one is it?
Probably the bike ride.
Okay. Which of these sentences sounds more true to you? I'm not fussy. I'm not going to have a problem with this situation over here. I'm worried about them. They're probably going to be emotional about this, so I'm going to be watching out for their emotions. Or, I don't know. I'm not worried about their emotions. They can take care of themselves. I'm worried about how I feel about this because I'm the only one I can control.
The first one.
Okay. Do you believe truth is discovered or created?
Discovered.
Do you think ethics or morals are absolute or relative?
Relative.
Do you think that a day with a day's activities with a large extended family, with several different planned stops at different spots for different picture shootings and stuff like that, do you think that sounds like a blast? Okay. Or, I don't want to do that.
It would depend on if the activities were things I liked.
Okay, well, there's taking pictures. There's a luncheon type thing. There's a time in the afternoon to set aside for working on making the dinner as a family. Like you guys are all making like Thanksgiving dinner or something like that. And then after that, everyone's gonna get together and build a campfire and hold hands and sing a song around the campfire, and then everybody goes to bed. Those are the activities.
It doesn't. It sounds like activities that I wouldn't want to do. I wouldn't want to do all of them. Yeah.
If you imagine yourself and you wake up one morning and you find yourself, oh shit, I've been enrolled in some random school someplace, and it's a master's program. I've been enrolled in a master's degree program in epistemology, or I've been enrolled in a master's degree program in chemistry. Which one makes you less happy?
What is epistemology?
It's a fancy word for how you know things in philosophy.
They both sound like fun.
They sound like fun. Okay.
Both the chemistry and the epistemology.
Which sounds like more fun?
Probably the chemistry.
Okay, interesting. Are you better at singing songs or drawing pictures?
I can't sing in tunes, I guess drawing pictures.
Are you likely to leave small objects at home when you leave the house? Like, oh shit, I forgot my blah. Are you likely to say that pretty often? Or not? likely
Oh
to say?
yes, all the time.
All the time. Okay.
Okay.
Do you feel as though when you go into discussing an issue with somebody that's sort of abstract, like let's say, I don't know, whether Judy was right or wrong in doing what she did, okay, to Bobby, and it's gray, it's not clear, it's not black and white, okay. You're discussing this issue. Are you more likely to wait until you have a really clear sense of what you believe about it or think about it before you express your opinion, or are you likely to discover what you think and feel about it as you express your opinion?
I probably discovered more as I talked about it.
Okay, I've got my diagnosis. Anybody else want to ask questions? Lorenz Walker, I believe you had a question about thick ribs.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. That was my mistake. I was hallucinating, I guess. Mega Bro, can you ask a TE themed question? Or anybody come up with a TE themed question? If you figured out a good way to do something, a certain set of steps you do it, how likely are you to do it the same way again versus how likely are you to try to improve on it still?
I probably try to improve on it.
Okay. Will you ever, even if something worked really, really well and you're like, yeah, okay, that's the most efficient way to do it, would you still feel the urge to play around and try new ways, or would you be comfortable executing that approach?
Oh, I probably still think it through and try to find better ways.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're. Anybody want to guess? Anybody want me to hold off guessing? Other questions? Okay. I mean, to me, this is screaming INTP.
INTP? Okay.
Are you more concerned about understanding something for yourself or making sure others understand it?
I think a little bit more concerned about me understanding it.
If you're working on something it's not a closed system. It doesn't have a ceiling. In other words, like let's say karate, you don't stop getting better at it if you keep practicing it, right? So it doesn't have a ceiling.
Right.
Okay, if it's something like that, is your interest in trying to get better, or are you getting better to achieve a goal?
I think I might try to get better without achieving a goal.
Yeah. That's the same question. Another route is, he says, do you care more about logical consistency or results? The thing is, it's kind of a false dichotomy. Huh? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think probably a little bit more about logical consistency, and then I'll hope that it works out well.
And you know, well, I think also that in general, claims of results in the absence of consistency are specious, probably. It's not actually going to have the results that people claim. They think they can be results oriented and not worry about the consistency, but it just means they're missing something. They're not getting some of the impacts or something like that. So okay, yeah, you're sound like an INTP to me. I mean, in theory, I could think maybe you're an ENTP, but you don't sound like an ENTP in terms of your loudness. I mean, both INTP and ENTP would have the same cognitive functions in a different order, as you're revealing to us here. You're revealing FE, that you're more concerned about other people's feelings than your own. You're revealing TI, that you're more concerned about conditionality than causality. So, if you go, well, look, we got to clean up the trash, so we got the death penalty for littering. Yeah, we've killed like 50 people, but look, no trash. You know, yeah, that makes you laugh, right? It makes me laugh too. But there are worldviews that tend to think of it that way. So that's why I think you're INTP. Do you consider yourself an extrovert?
Mm, no, probably not.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's not a single thing you said or did that says anything other than INTP to me. The losing shit. Do you have any issues with procrastination?
What about the bike ride, Eric?
Oh yeah, the bike ride. That's true.
That was the only thing.
I don't procrastinate so much anymore, but I did a lot when I was younger.
Oh, you're an ISTP, I bet. My bad. You're
ISTP?
ISTP.
Okay.
My bad. You're ISTP. Thank you, Tiffany, for saving me. This happens every time I get to an ISTP. I always go INTP, and then I go, oh fuck, you sneaky ISTPs. You're always sneaking past me. Procrastination doesn't apply to a dominant SI or TE user. Who said that? Oh, non-dom TI. I see non. I missed the non part. Well, it could. Yeah, but I think it's most likely to be noted in people who have SE in the 7th slot. That's not Ellie. Ellie doesn't have SE in the 7th slot if she's an ISTP. If you're an ISTP, Ellie, you've got introverted thinking as your dominant function. So you're all about logical consistency and making sure you understand the why and the contextual sort of relations between the thing you're trying to do or talking about and broader issues. Your second function is SE. You like to go do shit like ride mountain bikes. Your third function is NI. That's introverted intuition, which means you see truths as whole truths rather than as well. You said truth is discovered. Any person is likely to think it's created because they see nothing but possibilities from any given truth. You realize the truth of something and then you try to manifest that truth. NE takes an existing thing and builds off of it. So that's the difference between extroverted and introverted intuition. You got introverted intuition. You know truths as whole, complete ideas and sets of things, and that's how you tend to understand is through this holistic approach. So you probably have a much more common experience than I do of feeling like you have aha moments occasionally, like, oh, it all fell into place. I didn't really understand it very well at all, until this one thing happened, and then it all fell into place. Rather than,
Yeah, I have that sometimes.
yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that you confirmed that. But yeah, as opposed to, I don't really have that very often because I sort of gather my understanding seems to kind of like put on layers like a tree, Anyway, and then your last function is FE. That's extroverted feeling, which means you are concerned about managing other people through their feelings, making sure that you're doing okay because they're happy with you, basically. But it's in your 4th slot, which means you prioritize it low. You aren't very good at it, and you probably do it in bursts. So I have in my 4th slot SI. That's like the neat and tidy function, okay, amongst other things. So if you were to see what it actually looks like around here, that's SI. Now, periodically, that's a low SI. It's 4th slot SI. You're like that with extroverted feeling, which means you probably aren't considered by people to be the most socially graceful woman they've ever encountered. You probably
Okay.
aren't considered by others also, though, to be difficult or not likable, because you have an advantage in a certain way with FE in the 4th slot, even though it's not a strong suit for you. Because you're an introvert, the way you deal with that is you're typically very careful and probably don't make a lot of social mistakes. In contrast, an ENTP who's got it in the 3rd slot, we have to grow into it. It takes a long time for us to get a handle on it because we want to perform a lot. We want to be out there and trying out FE moves, whereas you just want to err on the side of caution. So that's my basically understanding for myself, and I prefer logical consistency. How many do you? So that's my basically my little spiel on you. That's my psychological profile of you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do you anything you disagree with there? Do you want to say no, Eric? That's totally wrong.
Well, it sounds like it might be right. I have to think about it.
Okay. Well, I will let you know that let's talk a little bit. I didn't really talk about this. Is your primary weakness? Your primary weakness is my number one strength. So, and my primary weakness is like an INFP's primary strength. So, the 7th slot function for you is NE, extroverted intuition, which means you probably, if I said, hey, Elly, can you just take over for a second? Just talk for about 5 minutes, random shit about pineapples. Just go. You'll figure it out as you go. Would you? How do you think you'd perform? Do you like that idea?
That would be really hard.
I think that'd be hard, right?
Yeah. I would want to research the topic first.
That's a very ISTP answer. That's a very ISTP answer. I find that fascinating because it shows you just how much this model will predict behaviors in certain circumstances. So I can take any two people, if they self-identify as ENTP and ISTP, and say, and let's say neither of them ever even considered this possibility of doing impromptu speaking, and I could say, these two people, I'm going to put Joe up there, I'm going to give him a random topic, I'm going to put Mary up there, give her a random topic. Joe's going to do an incredibly better job than Mary. Mary's going to do a terrible, terrible job. I could make that prediction and it'd be right because that's extroverted intuition in the dominant slot versus the 7th slot. It's a contest that's specifically designed to be weighted as much in favor of one person and against the other person as possible. So that's why the ENTP is considered the ISTP's supervisor interrelation type in socionics. It's because we relate to other types in certain ways based upon how strong they are at the shit that we're bad at. So I'm always a little skittish around INFPs, like they're judging me because I'm probably being too rough with other people's feelings. And
so
yeah, go ahead.
Who would I be the supervisor of?
You're the supervisor of. So whoever's got TI in the 7th, you're the supervisor of ENFJ.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. No, not ENFJ. Not ENFP. ENFP. You're supervisor of ENFP. Because ENFP, they have a function stack that goes extroverted intuition. Wait, is it ENFP? Or is it E?
You should put a chart up on the wall behind you.
I should. I had one up on your mom's face, but then she moved. Okay. So anyway, whatever it is, it's probably ENFP. Because ENFP goes NE, which their dominant function is still your 7th. But their second function is FI. Their third function is TE, extroverted thinking. So their 7th function is TI, introverted thinking. Which is why you can never get them to give you a straight answer about anything. You go, well, what do you think about this? And they go, well, it could be this or it could be that. And you go, well, which one do you think? These two things aren't both possible. Oh, shit, I mean, it's hard to say. It's crazy. You can do this with ENFPs all day long and you'll never get anything out of them. Because all they do is see all the different possible ways they could feel about it. So you're their supervisor probably, or the other one that's got TI in the 7th. I don't remember who it is. I don't remember. Anyway, so cool. Very nice chatting with you, Elly. And ESFP. Yeah, you're probably supervisor ESFP. Oh. That's JC. If JC were here, you could supervise her. Is she here? Is JC here? Let's see. I don't see him. I don't see her. No, okay, she's not here. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, famous people. And stop this video.